Hi there, this is Belinda Rosenblum with Own Your Money, and I am here at FinCon 16 talking with Lynnette Khalfani-Cox. It's a mouthful, but I got it there.
And there you go.
She is the proud owner of Ask the Money Coach. No, I'm gonna let you.
You did it right.
I did.
You actually got it right.
AskTheMoneyCoach.com.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. And really just an amazing speaker and expert, whether it's on GMA, the Today Show, CNBC, you name it, she's been there.
She's singing my praises and making me feel like, okay, I got a lot to live up to here.
It's all good. It's all good. So we're having an incredible conversation about what it means to be financially empowered and really how you can start to take action with your money. And so I asked her if we could turn on the camera here and talk so that you could hear it, and then you could use this to be able to start to take action. So where would you like to start?
Well, we can talk about being financially fearless. I think that's a great place for anybody to start, because oftentimes I find that so many people approach financial topics and money issues from a place of fear. And one of the things I think, frankly, that you try to do, and certainly I do as well, try to get people to understand, is that even though it might seem a little scary in the beginning, or even though it might feel like I have no confidence, no knowledge, or no, maybe even interest in learning about money, part of being financially fearless is about momentum. It's about being willing to take action and to move, even if you don't feel confident, even if you feel afraid, even if you feel kind of overwhelmed or mired down in your current circumstances. And so being fearless and positive and good about your money isn't about like, okay, I'm putting on my cape, I got my suit, my S, my superwoman on my chest, I'm doing it, I'm making, all these great moves. It's about saying, let me own what I've done thus far with my finances, the good and the bad, and let me really recognize patterns and habits that may have served me well in some instances and others that have held me back. And so sometimes I think people are just fearful to kind of move ahead because they're stuck in a rut. They don't know like what's next, what's on the horizon, and how am I going to get past the current situation that I'm in. And step one is like just, Martin Luther King Jr. once said, you don't have to see the entire staircase, just take the first step. And I think that's good advice in a lot of ways for us, no matter what you're doing. If it's, financial, social, something that you're trying to achieve goal-wise, don't be so tied to having to know every single step in the process or to know what is the outcome going to be at the final. Have a goal in mind, certainly. Have a vision for where you'd like to get, but just take it one step at a time. It's about the momentum. It's about being willing to move forward day by day.
It's so true. Yeah. I mean, I'm totally on board with that, because what ends up happening is that when we come from this place of, well, I don't know how it's going to end up, or I'm so afraid of doing it wrong, then the fear ends up compounding.
Absolutely.
And then we don't do anything.
It cripples you. I mean, it makes people,
totally paralyzes you.
It makes them immobilized. And we were talking earlier about my new book that's coming out, the third edition of it, I should say. It's new. Well, it'll be new to some people, I guess. Zero Debt, the ultimate guide to financial freedom. And one of the reasons that I wrote Zero Debt originally back in 2004, I had $100,000 in credit card debt alone. I know that sounds so awful, but it's true. And, I fessed up about it. This was back in 2001. Oh. There we go. Okay.
Okay, a little pause.
I had this debt back in 2001. Long story short, I took 3 years. I never missed a single payment. Then I wrote this book about it, Zero Debt, the ultimate guide to financial freedom. Became a New York Times bestseller, Business Week bestseller, Essence magazine has done very well. 2009-10, we did a second edition. Now we're doing this third edition. Well, one of the reasons that I wrote this book was to tell people how to jumpstart their finances. So I wrote it literally as a 30-day action plan. So I just walk you through it and say step by step. Day one, do this, just this one thing. And the day one is like opt out of getting additional credit card offers, because if you're already deep in debt, you just don't need that temptation. So I take people step by step to tell them it doesn't have to be scary, it doesn't have to be overwhelming, especially if you just do bite-sized actions, just little chunks that can help you day by day. And literally, even at the end of 30 days, you can have a huge transformation in your finances. Now, I'm not promising, obviously, that you'll be out of debt in 30 days or anything like that, but it's a way to jumpstart and transform your finances.
I love it.
So I like to see people who are willing to be financially fearless, and really my definition of that is being willing to act and to be open to taking action and momentum, frankly. So
Great. So let's say, are we ready to wrap it up? Is there anything else you want to say on financial empowerment? Because I was going to give them an action step to go take some action.
Sure. Well, a couple things. I have to say I have, found a new kindred spirit here.
Aw.
And no, really very much so, because as entrepreneurial women, I think that a lot of people can get locked into a path in life, whether it's in a relationship that they really should not be in, whether it's in a career that they find isn't serving their best interest. And just from our connection today, I'd say that you're obviously not in that vein. You're taking the steps and you have taken the steps already to not only do what's profitable and what's savvy business-wise for you, but to be able to enjoy your time with your family, with your two kids and all that. And that's a great thing. My tip would be to not live in fear and to just set a goal, whatever it might be, for your one thing, and to write it down and then to act on it within 48 hours. So it's one thing to say, okay, I'm going to set some goal. I'm going to, save $1,000 or pay off $1,000 in debt, or I'm going to.
But then it just becomes something you do someday, which
Right.
is always some other day. So let's give us 48 hours and go
to
do it.
take an incremental step. So if you're saying I want to get out of debt, for example, go ahead and double or triple your minimum payments, on that.
Just this month. Just
Exactly.
Take that one action.
But within 48 hours, don't put it off. I'll get to that later, No, do it now. Like as soon as you're watching this, you can do this, or certainly within 2 days. Because if you give yourself a little deadline, that's an extra ounce of accountability. And a lot of us could use an accountability partner.
Absolutely.
And that's something that really helps people to power forward with their finances. So take action now, 48 hours. Write down the one thing
Your
you're going
clock
to do,
has started.
and then go do it. It's ticking, tick tock, So yeah.
So right on. So it's so important for you to understand that you really can take action. There is a momentum that builds as you take a step by step by step, right?
That's right.
We need to just start up those steps. Use this as that kickstart to get you moving. I love the fact that your book is now coming out new again. Right?
Third
Which is
edition.
fantastic, right? So this is Zero Debt. And then a new one that's also coming out in 2017.
Bounce back.
Called Bounce Back. So
Yes.
stay tuned for that. That will
Yes.
be another great one. And that you use this as the kickstart for you to take that action within the next 48 hours. This is not a someday action. This is an immediate action.
That's right.
Even once this ends, just go take that action. So let's see. Let's give them some quick actions they could do. They can pay off debt faster.
Right.
Don't make
You
a
can,
payment.
if you are saving for retirement, for example, have you contributed to your 401k plan on the job? Even if you have, just, march into your HR office and up your contribution level. Maybe increase it by 1%. Maybe you're a person who gets a tax refund check every single year, and frankly, you're giving the interest.
Yeah.
Right, you're giving the government an interest-free loan. You can just go fill out the W-4 form and get a little extra cash in your check every single, pay period. The IRS has people get about $3,000 average.
Wow.
In terms of the average tax refund. That's about $250,
Every month.
a month.
That could be
Yeah,
going
and
to
so
you.
that could be going to you.
Yeah.
That could boost your savings. So if you haven't started a savings plan, go ahead and save. Start an account. I like to call them a hands-off account. Put it
that's
someplace
good.
where you can't touch it. Maybe it's in a credit
whole
union
separate
or a whole
bank.
right, and in automatic deposits. Okay,
Yeah.
you don't see the money,
Good.
you won't miss it, you won't be tempted to touch it. But it's kind of one of those things where you know what your own personal area of pain is, and you understand, frankly, what exactly
We're
it
getting
is that's
photo
been
bombed here for
bothering
money
you.
tip.
And so, hey, it's FinCon, everybody. This is the beauty of FinCon. And see, it's only here that we really love other money nerds. That we're into talking about financial empowerment. But I was just saying that only you know your own area of pain. Maybe it's been credit. Maybe it's about you haven't been able to save. Maybe it's that you haven't taken an action, like you have kids and you don't have a will yet or something like that. Unfortunately, 70% of all Americans don't have a will.
Oh, wow.
Huge financial
Wait, what
mistakes.
just Americans or like international people?
Nationwide in America. I don't
Okay.
know what the stat. That's a good question.
It's
though.
probably a significant stat.
I
too,
should think
though.
It's probably
Yeah.
yeah. But globally, anybody
Yeah.
who, if you have,
We're all
certainly
getting into this.
Yeah. But certainly, if you have a kid, though, no, seriously, and I have 3 kids. I have a 19-year-old, I have a 16-year-old, and I have a 10-year-old. If you are a parent and you have not made out a will, a last will and testament, certainly here in America, and you have
do
minor children, do that pronto delonto, okay? Because the state is going to be able to decide what
Make
to
a
do
will,
with
everyone. Make a will.
what to do with your money, what to do with your stuff, and possibly where your kids should go. I mean, and that's your
so
most
scary
precious
to think that,
thing
that
of
we're
all,
leaving that
right?
up to-
Yeah. So you know your own area, and you know what you have and haven't done, and I think the onus is upon you to take steps to say, okay, I've been putting this off
Good
forever.
advice, right,
I'm not going to do the ostrich thing. I'm not going to stick my head in
not
the
gonna
sand.
work.
It's,
Like,
it's
gotta get
definitely
worse.
not going to work. The
On the
problem's going to
balcony,
get
and these girls were
exacerbated,
like,
and
Facebook
then
Live, so I'm
go
like jumping on
forward.
this, right?
Go forward and act. You'll be so glad you did.
Awesome. So we've given you a whole bunch of ideas.
Yes.
And I would say even pick that one thing that you know you've been putting off and use this as the kickstart to take that action. Not just any old action, but that action.
Exactly.
And I'm sorry, who are you?
My name's Catherine Newton.
Tell us.
I'm from New Zealand.
See, FinCon is international, baby.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, good to be
Right.
here.
Did you
We're all
literally come
getting
from
in on
New
it.
Zealand
Just I'm
Wow.
to come to the event?
Not just now.
Oh, okay.
I've been traveling around for the last
Okay,
month.
wow,
but
very
yeah,
So
cool.
we're all
See?
financial experts.
Yes.
We're all money nerds here,
Money nerds,
sharing
yeah.
insights
Yeah.
with you,
Yeah.
and really looking to have you be empowered. So thank you, Lynnette. I'm
You're
so glad that
very
you've been here today.
welcome.
I
You're
can't
so
wait
very
to
welcome.
hear what all
Yeah.
of your action steps are. And then thank you for joining too.
Thank you.
Our guest from New Zealand.
International, baby. International.
I'm Belinda Rosenblum, your host and creator of the Moneymakers Academy and your founder of Own Your Money. And we actually put accountability into the Moneymakers Academy. And so when you
Excellent.
said that, I was like,
Wow,
oh,
great.
it's so right on track. So thank you everybody
Thanks
for
you
joining
guys
us
for
today.
watching. All
Check
righty.
out more. Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.